Hello, hello, hello. I am Christine. I am a fashion consultant with Paparazzi Accessories. And tonight I wanted to pop on really briefly and talk a little bit about the importance of giving yourself grace. I think it's really important. I'm going to just shut this off for a second so I'm not distracted by myself and talk about the fact that a lot of times people consider becoming a consultant and they sort of set the bar really high as to what their personal expectations are for themselves. And I think that we need to give ourselves grace whenever we're starting a new endeavor. When you're a mom or a dad of a small child, and they're learning how to crawl and roll over and walk and run, we give them grace. They're going to attempt many times to stand up on their own, and they're going to fall down. And sometimes they're going to hurt themselves, but more often than not, they're going to land softly on their diaper. And in time, they will sort of get their equilibrium and they'll stand and then they'll totter and they'll take those first steps. And we all watch with great anticipation and excitement for when they're able to take those first couple of steps and they go from being, a crawler to a walker. And I think that we forget that we have to give ourselves that same grace when we're starting a new endeavor. Just because we're not babies, it's something new. It's not that we come equipped with these abilities and these a sense of security in doing certain things. When you're trying something new, it's going to feel awkward. It's going to be different. It's going to be exhilarating, exciting, a little nerve-wracking, you're going to be a little apprehensive. Maybe you'll have butterflies in your stomach. But don't let that keep you down. Let that move you forward. And I think that oftentimes we don't give ourselves the grace that we would give somebody else starting something new, the support that we would shower on a child or a friend or a neighbor or even a stranger. You come across somebody in your day-to-day life that you don't know, who you know is having, maybe it's a coworker, who's having a bad day, is very stressed because they can't get the printer or something to work, or they're locked out of their car or whatever. And we've all been there where we're confronted with something that's difficult and we're just like, and then someone comes along and says, whoa, it's not the end of the world and it doesn't make you a bad person, and give yourself a moment. And I don't think that we are as generous with ourselves as we are with other people. And I think personally, I think that that's unfortunate because in our desire to do our best, we don't give ourselves the grace to get there. And when I first started with Paparazzi, I did not know how to use my phone. I did not know how to go live on Facebook. I don't think I even had a YouTube channel. There were a lot of things that I didn't know. But I was very fortunate because I'm a bombshell. We wear the pink boas. When I joined Paparazzi, I joined the bombshell team. We consider it a family, but we have all this support around us and we have years of experience. And so people who were strangers to me, who had no connection to me that I was going to make money from them or they were going to make money from me or anything like that. They were just other consultants who had been where I was and was new and they knew what to do, and they were kind and generous and compassionate, and in being so patient with me, and oftentimes answering questions before I even knew that it was a question. Like they just gave me a list of do this, do this, do this. And it was, they just did it out of the kindness of their hearts, because I have to believe that somebody at one point did it for them. And so they were paying it forward to somebody else. And now that's what I do, is paying it forward to other consultants to say, okay, this is what I did. And you don't have to do what I did, but let me share with you what works. Let me share with you what I found success in. And you're your own business owner, you get to make your own decisions, but let me be a guide to you and take my advice or don't. And sometimes in doing that, people relax, and they're more generous to themselves, because it's not anything new. Whether you decide you're going to learn a foreign language, or become a rock climber, um, or become a marathon runner. You know, marathon runners don't start out doing the New York City Marathon. You know, they might start jogging around the block. And then they might jog around the block twice. No one expects you to go out and buy a great pair of sneakers and run the New York City Marathon next week. So give yourself that grace to figure it out, to slowly get there, to make your way your way. You know, I have to believe that Misty and Shani, when they started this endeavor over 10 years ago and were making hair accessories in their living room, I don't even know that what paparazzi has become was even, in their mind's eye. They were probably, and next time I see them, I'm going to ask, because I have spoken to Ryan about it when we were on the cruise last year. And he said that, he misses those days of being in the living room and making hair accessories. But I'm going to ask them, at what point was it when you started to think this could be something? Because they probably started out making, a bow or two, and then they had to figure out how to make the bows prettier. You start off small. I've got to believe that people who do origami, unless they're really just artistic, like a Mozart type of person, people who make origami, maybe they started off with paper airplanes. You know what I mean? Maybe they just learned to fold the paper in half first. And from there, you get, you know what I'm saying? A little by little, you give yourself the grace to figure it out, and to figure out what makes it yours, and how it works for you. And what works for somebody else might not work for you. Nobody says that you have to do X, Y, or Z. As long as it's compliant and a good business practice, you're okay. Some people like to do lives on social media. Some people are hesitant. But until you try it a couple of times, you won't know where you fit in. My point in all this is, give yourself, as adults, doing something new, the grace to get better at it, to get more comfortable in your skin. Nearly 3 years ago when I started, there is no way I would have just done this to my hair and gone live. Because honestly, I didn't know how to go live. It would have taken me 16,000, I don't know what, like it would have been a whole production. But 5 minutes ago, I said, there's this idea in my head that I want to share while it's fresh. And the idea is, and somebody needs to hear this, give yourself grace. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to somebody else. And if you're not kind to other people, well, that's a whole nother video. That's me making a joke. My point is if you're thinking about doing this, if you're thinking about becoming part of paparazzi, then do it. Don't make a laundry list of why it's a problem. If you have it in your heart to start this endeavor, there's a reason. And everybody has a different reason. And when I started, I wasn't really sure what my reason was. And my reason changes from day to day. But the benefits of being a fashion consultant with paparazzi outweigh any mind monsters or doubts or other people's impressions of what this is every day. Because the dividends of becoming a consultant have changed, altered, redirected, affirmed my life. I am still me, but I am so much happier. I am blossoming in ways that it would take many, many hours to express. Some people do it for the money. Some people do it for the social. Some people do it to have fun. And we're adults. We're allowed to have fun. $5 jewelry is stinking fun. So the motto is accessorize, invite, become. I've got the accessories. I'm inviting you to become a fashion consultant. It's a lot of fun. There's so many things I could say, but give yourself the grace to figure it out. And if you've got questions, you can reach out and ask me. And you can pop onto my website, blingybombshell.com. So I hope you have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll be back soon.